So my name is Patrick, and in this tutorial I will show you how to recreate this scene. This is a scene created with the add-on for Blender Urbaniac City Asset Pack. Is an add-on that allows you to control the entire scene from a simple UI. Okay, you can control things like snow, for example. You can reduce the quantity of the snow, or you can control the wet surface. Every the element in the outside can be wet, and you can add animated raindrops uh, to the all the materials of the add-on, and you can add this VFX to your own materials. Okay, if they are principal BSF, you can do it very easy. You can control the lights of the buildings, okay, and the lights of the streets too. Street lights, you can control them too. It's a very complete suite to create urban scenes, photorealistic results, and you can see here is Eevee is a very complex scene with a lot of materials and a lot of them semi-procedurally created, and it's moving pretty fine with a GTX 1070. By default, everything that is horizontal will have snow, and depending on the level of snow, it will be in gradient, adding or removing snow. Okay, so in the flat surface, like a roads on the street, uh, the traffic, the people passing, remove part of the snow. So how do you can achieve that? Well, it's simple as enter in vertex paint. You need that the element have a color attribute, city assets dash middle dash interior, and in this you can uh, paint. Okay, black is snow, and white is no snow, so we can paint. I don't recommend use full full strength because it's make a weird patch. You need a transition, so you can paint with a less strength, and you look the result is smooth and and better and more realistic. If you need more details, you can add more geometry to be able to paint independent vertex of the color that you want, and in this manner you can add very complex figures. You can change the mood of your scene very quickly. Here, for example, I am using the Peace Eye atmospheric lighting add-on to the sky and the lighting of the scene, and for everything else I am using the Urbaniac city asset pack. Okay, the only element that don't came in the pack is the truck. Here I have some keyframes over the Urbaniac values, so I can, when I move it in the timeline, these parameters will change it, and it will affect the snow, the wet on the surface, the rainbow effect, the lights of the streets. You can quickly make a zoomer version of the scene. Two parameters right here. I changed it the wet surface as the snow. Uh, Maybe you can add a little of surface and make something more autumn. Okay, you can add a lot of uh, wet surface and raindrops, and make a rainy day. and you can add a lot of snow and make a winter scene. All these elements with three parameters, changing three parameters. If you go to the night, you can turn on all the lights of the scene, okay, or you can turn off all the lighting and make it look like an abandoned city full of zombies or something like that. Very quickly, with a few clicks away, you can turn on or off the different lighting. First, we are going to add start a new scene. If you have the base cube, the cube of the blender, you remove it, and I will start making the street. So I toggled this with the end key, and I came to the Urbaniac tab. Okay, I go to Asphalt, and I select the street cross section. I append it. Now I will add the street strike. Okay, and it's a little section that 4 meter long that you can with the a Bible array modifier make it longer. I'm going to put 15 here. Okay, now we need to copy this street section to the other sides of the corner. So I will use the snap tool. Okay, I will put it in vertex mode and in the active. And if you see the origin of the element uh, is in relation with these circles that are on the cross section. This is a guide to simple copy and put it on the middle, on the center here, and rotate it, and you have there, and I will copy there, and I will copy there. You can duplicate it or copy it. If you duplicate, when you write the color attribute, this is what you are uh, looking for if you want to control the snow. Uh, all four will look exactly the same. Okay, so have that in mind. Now I will add the sidewalks. Here I will put a corner. I have two variation of the sidewalks. Okay, this is the one and the two. They change the material of the sidewalk. I will go with the one. I add this one, and I will add, I can add this one. Okay, and I will add this one. The section have 4 meters long, so you have to move it, select, move 4 meters, or you can use the same principle that the asphalt. You can with the snap tool move it. Now I can this sections came with the array modifier too, so I can choose copy this. Okay, now I will duplicate it, snap to the center, and I can scale it there. Okay, and maybe we can add these two, so I will move it 4 meters in the y-axis, and I will copy these two, and I will use this guide to put it in the center. Okay, so now we have our corner. I will add a building. Okay, we have a lot of building to choose. This one that came with this icon, and you can modify the values. I, I will show you. You can append it directly to the origin, or you can change the point of the position of the 3D cursor and select that you can append it to the 3D cursor. Okay, so the origin will start there. I will rotate it. Okay, and this wheeling I can change when I select it. If you select other thing, the properties disappear. But when I select this type of asset, I can choose from the number of floors. You can make it taller or shorter. The depth of the wheeling, and you have three parameters of the facade. One control the center, this section over here, and the other two control the windows on the laterals. You can make it wider. Okay, so I will put this wheeling over here. So I will add this wheeling 01. The free version of the Urbaniac City Asset Pack came with this wheeling. The light version came with wheeling 1 and wheeling 2, and the pro version came with all of this and all the wheelings that we can add in the future. This type of elements came with these arrows over here. If you select the arrows, you can move the entire wheeling in one single click. Okay, they are all parented to there, so I will position it the wheeling. You can use the snap tool, in this case in face mode, to make sure that the base of the wheeling is in the same position that is the base of the sidewalk. Okay, the wheeling by themselves came with all the interiors modeler, and you can control the lights of the interiors from here. All the shop, when you turn this on, will illuminate, and the interiors of the buildings will illuminate randomly. Okay, so here some area of the building are still in shadow because there is no light here. So if you make a big city, you will notice that the interiors are not 100% illuminated. You have some interior that are illuminated and some interior that are not. If you want to change that, you can select one of the interiors and change this value. One means no interiors of this type will be illuminated, and 0 means all this type of interiors will be illuminated. There is 6 type of interiors that you can modify. Okay, and you can control that independently by this material. So yeah, the interiors are pre-baked. They had pre-baked light. So if you choose to look it in EV, they look realistically without expend so much effort or resources. Okay, all pre-baked, and they interact with the shadows. If you put a sunlight, then that is an element that the parallax effect won't be affected. So this type of 3D interiors are really cool, and you can add them independently. If you have the pro version, here from interior, you can select all these variation of interiors, and I will add more in the future. Well, let's see. We have two buildings. I will add one more building asset, and I will add this one here. Okay, I will choose the arrows over the top of it. You can see the details of these buildings are pretty awesome. You have chairs and elements inside, and I will move it in the x-axis a little more, maybe here I will add a depth of 5, and this one can touch each other, maybe a 6 one. Okay, something like that. You can add a floor if you want more variation in the height. Okay, now I will select. I can add other building to the scene, but I will select the building one. Oh, I appended one inside the other, and I will duplicate. You can add another one from here too. I will rotate it, and I will position it this here. Okay. Now we need the asphalt in this part of the scene, and this is pretty easy to do. I add a plane. I make sure that is in the same level that the sidewalk. We add it here to here. The snap tool is very important to make it. Here I will erase the section that we have here, and now I will select the material asphalt street. This is the material that we want. Okay, the only one that you maybe want to do is put the size and the auto texture off, and when we make this will appears the lines. All right, so what we are going to do is duplicate this one. I will rename it underscore 001, or you can change parking spot. Do you want to rename it? Because when you append other element to the scene, the add-on will automatically remove all the materials and node groups that repeated. Everything that start with city asset dash and end with .00 and a number will be removed. Okay, in this way I can add a group and have a controllable amount of groups here. If you add from another add-ons, you will notice that you have an enormous quantity of repeating elements here. This add-on will remove automatically the repetition. So if you want to have two materials, change their name. You can put a underscore and not a dot, or you can rename it completely and you will be fine. And I came here in the material, and this one says material state lines. I will remove it 0. So there is no asphalt. When we add the first element, the first asphalt section on the scene, whatever this is, these empties will appear. Okay, you can control by moving it to one side to the other. You can control some elements like potholes. Okay, we have different potholes that you can scale, rotate, and move around, and will affect the surface of the street, and will affect the lines, for example, and the decals of the street. And when you add some wet surface to the area, they will fill up with water. Here we go. You can add water to the surface, and the potholes will fill up with water. Okay, it's pretty awesome. Okay, you can select this one, move it. Every one of these is a different pothole. Okay, with different depths. So there is some that will be dry, some other will be full of water. And we have these decals that you can move it around. Okay, and a web line. If you don't want that the lines stay here, you can modify with this never line value of the vertex point, and you can choose simple paint white. Oh, all right. If you have white, the lines disappears in that vertex. Okay, so you can modify the the appearance of the street. Okay, so we have pretty much the base of the scene. Here I will duplicate it. I will rotate it 190 degrees. Sorry. Move it over here. Perfect. And I will move it on the Y. Scale it -1 on the Y axis and move it. Okay. There we go. Then I will add the fences. Over here I have the fences. I will add this type of pole at the cursor append. I will add this type of fence at cursors append, and if the origin points are the same, so if you append some element over here, okay, and another one over here, you can select this one, Shift S, cursor to select, and Shift S, selection to cursor. I put both on the same place. Now I will add this type of wire here, and I will add the door. Okay, this one I will move it 2.8 meters, and these fences came with an array modifier, so I will reduce it to 1, and this came with an array modifier. I will increase it to 2, and we have here the section of our fences. I will close it up. Okay, garbage over here, so garbage assets. Here we have the garbage container, some garbage bag. This is a particle system that you can add and change the particle system. You can set up for the moment by yourself. It's pretty easy, but it's not automatically. The garbage container has garbage inside, so you can open it. And the garbage bag are pretty awesome because there is element inside of the garbage. So when you render, they are something transparent, simulating the stretched black plastic, and you can see through them a little bit. So you can place some of them. In the next update, I will add color variation to the garbage randomly to have white and light blue color of the garbage. I think that way pretty awesome. And we have this one too, that you can move the perfect. Now we can keep adding element to the scene, like here in the other one have an electrical box. We can append it. Is in the other side, so I will rotate it over the z-axis 180 degrees, and I will position it something like that. Okay, and I also have a ventilation, so I will add rooftops and air conditioners. You have the conduct over here, so I will add an air conditioner over here, and I will add this conduct end that I can scale it, and it's a vent on the facade, and I will add this type of elements. Now to positioning this and the other ones, you can use the center of the faces, Shift S, cursor to select, add cursor, you add, and they are perfect in the same spot. Okay, I will add two of these, so I will duplicate our Z axis. Okay, again, cursor to select, duplicate this, select to cursor over here. I will move it there, and you can close a little bit to here. Cursor to select. I will add this one, and you can make an idea how you can use it. Okay, and you have the supports. You add it. Position it in the right place. It's not rocket science, so it's not need to be super perfect, but yeah, it's a pretty cool addition and attention to detail. So you can keep adding elements like the utility poles, one with a light over here for illuminates this section. The other one I will add right here, and maybe another one different over here. Do you want to know how to make super easy cables? It's pretty easy. I will add a plane, collapse and remove doubles, and in vertex I will duplicate, I extrude on the corresponding axis, and we have this line. I will extrude to this point. You can use the snap tool, and I will duplicate this one. I extrude this one. I extrude this one too. Okay, easy. Select all, subdivide, select the centers and only the centers. I will move it over the z-axis and Control V to bevel and V to vertex, and I will change with M the type of mode to percent, 100%, and the scroll of the mouse, sorry for that, to increase the number of bevels. Select all, merge by distance. I will extrude in the z-axis, extrude in the other axis. I will select with Control Shift Alt edges, and you can edge loops, mesh selects edge loops. Right now, again, Control V, scroll down, and 50%, something like that. Merge by distance, we move it, and we duplicate it. Perfect. Now we can use the same materials. Here we have the black plastic, and voila, you have very easy wires in your poles. I will add a light pole over here. Okay, this one came with some decals detail, so in the same spot both of these elements have the same origin point. So you have some stickers over it, and I will add a traffic light, the big one. It came with the decals too, so you're gonna add the decals. All the decals are for all the traffic lights. Okay, so you don't have to worry too much decals with traffic lights, small, medium, or big. I will add this one too. Move it, cursor to select. Perfect. I will rotate 90 degrees, and I will add some decals to it. Rotate 90 degrees. Perfect. Okay, basically we have the same element. All that is missing is the car over here. The car is not included in the pack, but you can add your own. I will show you how to add the material. So I will model a super weird looking and basic truck over here. This will work, and car paint. So how we can add our VFX to our truck is pretty easy. You have the basic principle BSDF material. Okay, we'll make it red, clear coat. Perfect. I will add a subdivision here. Perfect. We have the car paint. So how you do add the snow, the rain effect, and everything to it? Pretty easy. I will shift A, add, and I will look for city asset raindrops. Only raindrops, not raindrop piece. Raindrops. Okay. Now I have to match albedo with base color, roughness with roughness, and normals with normals. Okay, and I will select the boom map over here. Perfect. So if you have a normal map or a displacement map, you put it, or a boom map, you put it here. Or if not, you left this in blank. Okay, here you can change the color of your paint. You can Control C, Control B over here, and the roughness pretty much you can select the corresponding value in color of the cost of the value. You can change it. If you have a PBR texture, it will connect the albedo, the roughness, and the normal of the PBR over here. And the height map, you can use it to control the wet surface over the horizontal area. All these other values are cool if you need to make something more complex. Here, the wetness value, for example, change depending on the wet surface value. The raindrops on off will change if you is activated or deactivated. The snow the same. If you have snow, it will increase or decrease. The snow complex will be affected by the element of the snow. This is pretty cool. For example, if the element is completely metallic, okay, and you don't want to have metallic snow, it's not realistic, so you can invert this to control the metallic value. So the snow is not metallic and the color, something like that. The snow is not metallic and the vehicle is still metallic. And wet surface on or off are pretty much the same that wet surface, but this will be affected by the interior vertex color. So and if you connect the three first elements, albedo with the base color, the roughness with the roughness, and the normal with the normal, you will notice that the elements affect your scene. You can change the wet surface, the snow, and the raindrops effects. The raindrops are animated, by the way. The compile side can take some time, but once it's compiled, is pretty fast. I can play the animation, and I have animated raindrops over all the exterior surface. Okay, and in the vertical part of the model, the raindrops move, and in the horizontal, it appears and disappears. They are affected by the. Okay, perfect. So it's pretty easy. You can change all parameters on the fly. You can play with the values. Okay. And if you have this material part of the car, for example, in the under under a roof, for example, okay, something like that, and you don't want that this part have snow because it's parked under a roof, or it doesn't have raindrops. You can add a color attribute, name it city assets space dash space interior, and add it. And then I can select the meshes and in vertex mode I will paint it white. Okay, and I don't have raindrops or snow in this area. Okay, so basically this is the way that we can control the snow and the VFX, the raindrops over the surface. The buildings, for example, in certain parts of the interiors came with this parameter and will not show snow uh, in the interior of the of the buildings. You can do it in the street, for example. If you have a car, okay, parking on the street, by default the interior value came only to have snow in, in the borders of the street, but you can change that by painting with black, strength, a little bit of strength, and look, this is an array element, so it will repeat every 4 meters. The best way to avoid this is apply the array modifier once you are happy with the street. Where is there is a car, there is no snow. Okay, and you can add snow very easy with automatically randomness over the surface to look nice and realistic. Okay, pretty easy. And you keep making this to the entire scene. Basically, the key elements that you want to control are the asphalts and the sidewalks. Uh, Buildings and other elements are not super necessary to control by this method. Automatically you can see select collection, select object. They will have a snow over the surface automatically, so you can even over the bricks, for example. So yeah, Well, basically this is how you use the add-on from the most basic parts, adding elements to the most complex, changing the snow parameters and things like that. And this is the way I create this loop video that you are looking. Uh, is keyframe the different values of snow, raindrops, wet surface, and and playing with the lighting to achieve this resource. I hope you like the video and you understood a little bit more about the Urbaniac City Asset Pack. Well, that's all. Uh, Thank you very much.